Well, the first thing you want to do here for tire removal and installation is to find an impact wrench that suits your needs. We're going to use a 1/2-inch drive battery powered today. We're going to find an impact socket that fits our lug nuts tight. Shouldn't have too much slop in it. This one happens to be a 21 millimeter. And then we're going to make sure our impact is set on reverse, checking it with our hand and pulling the trigger. And then we're going to go ahead and remove all of these lug nuts, storing them in a safe position. Once we have the lug nuts removed, we can take the tire off, set it on the floor, do the work that we need to do behind where the wheel is mounted, and then in just a minute here, we'll put it back on. All right, so we are ready to put this tire back on here. We're gonna go ahead and pick it up, and in our head, we're gonna look at the shape of these wheel studs. We're gonna try to align the holes for the wheel studs just like that. We can take our lug nuts and always start them by hand, which can be a challenge when the wheel studs are recessed down in the rim like this, especially if you got fat old guy fingers like I do. Go ahead and start them. And then we're going to snug them up with that impact in the socket real quick when we're done with this before we lower it. And then use the torque wrench to make sure that we got them as tight as they need to be. Make sure your impact is set to tighten. I set it to the second out of 3. We're going to go ahead and snug these up in a star pattern. If you got 4 wheel studs, go ahead and do it in a cross. 6, 7, 8, go ahead and do it in a star, skip around. That makes sure that it pulls the wheel on flat to the hub. And then we're going to lower it and then check it with the torque wrench. Alright, so we've got the weight of the vehicle just barely resting on the tire so that the tire won't spin. Next, we're going to take our torque wrench, set it to the appropriate torque and the appropriate size socket. We're going to go ahead and put it on the lug nut, start on one. We're going to slowly tighten this until our torque wrench indicates that we are at the right amount of torque. If you have a click style torque wrench, it'll click. Some of the other ones that we have will vibrate, shake, they'll have lights on them. This one gives us some beeps and a little bit of vibration in the handle. And when I think that I've got all of them tight, I go back and check them in a circle just to make sure I didn't miss one. Very common with newbies to this game that people miss one. And we certainly don't want any of these lug nuts to fly off. Once you got them in a circle, you are done with this wheel and you're going to go ahead, and if you have any other wheels off, you're going to finish those. If you're just doing one wheel, you are ready to finish lowering it the rest of the way and send this thing down the road. Thanks for watching.